Scott Templeton here for SprintCarUnlimited.com at the Fan Appreciation Morning here at the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic with Carson Macedo, driver of the '99 Dyson Motorsports car. And Carson, you're here in Australia once again. What's the attraction of coming to Australia for you each year?
You know what? It's just such good racing. I mean, events like this, look at this Fan Appreciation Day. Just so many fans are appreciated here in Australia. It's just a different atmosphere, different form of racing. So the Classics is such a cool event, and all the other races really leading up to it are awesome too. You know, Avalon, Matt Gambia, the Scott Darley race in Sydney, and then to come here and kind of close it out with such a cool event like this is it's why we keep coming back every year, and you know, we're really happy to be here.
So you've obviously got a really close connection with the Dyson family. Can you tell us how did that come about, and a little bit about this team?
Yeah, so I was actually racing a 360 race last year in Placerville, or not last year, a few years ago now, in Placerville, and anyway, Sean was there, and I ended up walking by him and just sort of realized, like, you know, he started talking to me and just said hello, and he's Australian, and sort of it just took off from there. Like, we met each other that night, and then shortly after that we stayed in contact on the phone. And then when I came out here in 2016, my engine, the team I was driving for, my engine blew up the first night. Sean actually lent us an engine, and then yeah, from then on it just took off. You know, Sean and Felicity are young, very fun people to be around, and they're great people, and they've become like family to me. Both them and their daughter Peyton. She's growing up every time I come over here. It's crazy to see that transformation. But yeah, it's been, you know, I wouldn't want to drive for anybody else over here. I'm very, very thankful and appreciative to be in the situation I am with the Dyson Motorsports team.
So how would you describe your campaign thus far? You've been fast everywhere. You probably haven't had the results you would have liked yet, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it's gone that way. Like, we've had a lot of speed. We were really good at Avalon. We were really good at Matt Gambia. We were pretty good at Sydney, and I just made some mistakes at Sydney. Struggled a little bit at Brisbane, but yeah, Avalon, we just, you know, we're running fourth there in that feature, and then we had a guy spin out in front of us and ended up flattening the right rear. We got into him, and then last night, or a couple nights ago now, Matt Gambia ended up raining out, which was unfortunate. But yeah, it's that's all part of it. You know, it's all racing. It's when you go in, you know that sometimes it's going to happen that way.
This race, the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, how would you describe the status of this race in America amongst your driver colleagues?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest races in the world, without a doubt. There's over 100 cars that enter the race. Very good drivers, a lot of talented individuals run this race, and I think you see that night to night. You know, last night you look at that field, and it was only split in half, and there were still some very talented drivers that were battling for the lead and coming through those heat races to make up a lot of points. So I know tonight will be just as tough, so we're gonna have to bring our A game and see what we can produce out there tonight.
And obviously in a couple of weeks' time you'll be back home starting your first full World of Outlaws season with the Kyle Larson racing team. How important do you think the racing over here through this summer is to keeping you sharp for the start of that campaign?
Yeah, it's always good. Anytime that you can get some seat time in a sprint car is very important. Luckily I get to run quite a few races per year, but yeah, for the most part it keeps you fresh, it keeps you in that routine, and keeps you race fit, so that when you get back you're you know, firing on all cylinders.
And the last question before we let you go, an important part of your new ride this year is obviously taking Joe Gertie with you as your crew chief. How important do you think that is going to be to your success, that established relationship you've already got?
Yeah, it's a huge aspect. I mean, to be comfortable with somebody right off the bat like Joe is really important. You know, the last 2 years we've spent, you know, learning each other, building that relationship and building a notebook, and I really think that that having him on the team with me is going to be a huge advantage right out of the box. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think he is too.
Well, your preliminary night tonight is at the Classic. All the best, and thank you for talking to SprintCarUnlimited.com.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.